welcome to Maine, where I'm shooting on location on vacation, and I stumbled upon a passage in a book that I've been reading, and it really spoke to me. So I decided to film a class based on this passage from Ephesians, which I'll read to you in a moment. The theme of the class will be getting rooted and grounded, and I'll probably offer a little less cueing than I usually might, assuming most have some experience with yoga to allow for some silence and stillness and for you to experience that feeling of rootedness. So I invite you to find a pose to begin with that feels rooted and grounding. You might like hero's pose like I'm in, or a version of hero's pose, simple seated, propped or unpropped. You might like child's pose. You might choose to lie down in alternate rest pose, just really setting everything down with the legs bent like such. Another really grounding place to begin your practice, if you like it, is in crocodile. So lying on your belly, holding up the elbows, feet a little wider, and just surrendering like this. So take a moment to find your pose that feels grounded and rooted and safe for you to begin your practice. Once you settle into your shape, try to just come into your body and your breath, feeling the fullness of your breath move into your body, and just allow these words to wash over you. Maybe one word speaks to you more. See what comes up for you. So this is from Ephesians 3, beginning at 16. That according to the riches of his glory, he may grant you to be strengthened with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your heart through faith, that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may have strength to comprehend with all the saints, which is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled with all the fullness of God. Continue to breathe deeply. Maybe one of those words or passages really spoke to you more. Perhaps it was strengthened with power through his Spirit in your inner being. I really think that's what we try to achieve when we practice yoga, especially Christ-centered yoga, to feel his power through his Spirit in our inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may have strength to comprehend with all the saints what is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled with all of the fullness of God. I appreciate the passage, to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge. Sometimes just in our daily life, we feel like we have to have everything figured out. But I think our relationship with God, with Christ, is or does surpass knowledge. so that you may be filled with all the fullness of God. Again, why do we come to the mat? Perhaps to be filled, or to empty out our worldly cup and to come to feel the fullness of God, which was already given to us, that we sometimes forget about. Just take a few more breaths wherever you're at. Feeling the weight of your body, the fullness of God within your body and all around you. And then, whatever shape you found yourself in, we're all going to meet in tabletop on our hands and knees. So just find your tabletop. Maybe your shoulders are over your wrists, your knees as wide as your hips. And we'll move ourselves right into cat and cow, really feeling the fullness of our breath, the fullness of God moving in and out of our bodies. So as you inhale, drop your tail, lift your belly, lift your heart. Inhale. Exhale, arch that spine. Pull the belly up in your cat shape. And just continue to flow like this with your own breath. You might listen to the sound of your breath as it gets fuller. Feel the Spirit of God move within you. It's like a little moving meditation, another round or two. When you're ready, come back to your neutral. And we're just going to flow a little bit here. Again, all our shapes hopefully will promote a sense of groundedness in love and faith. So maybe walk your left hand a little closer to midline. Kick your left leg back a touch. Stretch your right leg out. So we're in a supported side plank. Reach that right arm up to the sky. Draw that tailbone down, belly in. Like we're lifting our hearts up, feeling a little buoyancy while still grounded. This pose for some reason always reminds me of my relationship with God, this sense of joy, seeking. Maybe it feels good to lengthen that arm over the head. Maybe it doesn't. Listen to your body. And then when you're ready, just mindfully press your body up. Turn your hips to the front space and see how this foot feels flat. You can also lift the toes up. Going to come into gate. Inhale, reach up. Like you're having a conversation with God, just feeling His grounded presence. And take that right hand to the thigh, left hand to the sky. Coming into your gate pose. Really filling the body with breath, our body, again, the gate to our spirit, to our relationship with God. We neglect our body, we can feel a little stuck or a little less than grounded. When you're ready, come on out. Let's just take that right knee in. So we're kneeling here. It's going to transition us to the other side, but take a reach up. Maybe just a tiny back bend. Lifting your heart up in praise, but feeling grounded in the tailbone, the pelvis. Circle those arms around and back. And we'll take our right hand down to the earth, left leg out to the side, finding our side angle or our side plank on the other side. Reach that left hand up to the sky. Again, remember to stay grounded into your body as a whole. Feel that sense of groundedness in your tailbone drawing down, belly strong. Heart wide open so we can experience the groundedness of love of the Father. And the arm might feel good just reaching up, or you might want to reach it over your head. Fill that side body up with breath. Keep turning your heart open towards God. When you're ready, again, mindful transition, press up, root that left foot down, or you can lift the toes, reach up. What are you feeling? And take the left hand to the thigh, right hand reaches over, gate pose on the other side. Remember, we're keeping that groundedness down through the tailbone and the belly. When you're ready, rise up. Once again, we can take that left leg in now. And you could choose to take a version of camel. Maybe this time we'll keep our hands on our hips. And grounded tail, belly strong. Just lift up a little back bend. Even when we're grounding, we are keeping our hearts open. When you're ready, just sit those hips back. In the turn, you might need to do the same. Find your way down into child's pose to neutralize. Knees as wide as yours need to be. Surrender and breathe fully and deeply into your whole body. And using our time on the mat to nurture, to wake up our bodies, wake up our spirits, and just try to have this conversation, this relationship with God. Whenever you're ready, come back into your table, and we're going to transition into downward facing dog. So you can tuck your toes, lift those hips up to the sky, bring in whatever little movements feel good to you. And remember what grounds you, even in a shape that might feel uncomfortable. Can you breathe deeply? Find a sense of ease, maybe praise here. When you're ready, mindfully walk those feet forward towards the top of the mat. We'll just hang for a moment in our forward fold. Another gesture of just surrendering, getting out of our own way, surrendering our quest for knowledge and answers, and just taking yourself into the presence of God. When you're ready, mindfully roll your body up to come into your mountain pose. Feet wherever they feel best for you. Hands wherever they feel best for you, by your sides, at your heart. Sometimes one hand on belly, one hand on heart can feel particularly grounding. Choose your gesture and breathe even deeper into the fullness of your body. The fullness of your walk with God. Standing up in faith, standing up in power. Relax your arms. And next inhale, reach up again. Just take a gaze upward as you root down with your lower body. And we'll take a lateral side bend, so you could either just clasp either wrist to one side, or you can let that other arm down. Again, tailbone down, belly strong to ground. Breathe into the side of your waist. When you're ready, come on out. Maybe roll the shoulders back. Observe any subtle differences in the body. And making more space for God to move in. Inhale up. Hold for a breath. And lateral side bend over to the other side. Again, rooting with the feet, rooting with the tailbone, belly strong, your version. Listen to the breath. You're listening for the voice of God within you, the voice of the Holy Spirit within you. When you're ready, let it go. Roll those shoulders back and observe. Let's take the hands to the heart in prayer, and we'll just flow a little bit. Again, nice and easy, gentle practice to facilitate this sense of rootedness. So let's inhale up. Exhale, just fold forward. A few half sun salutations. Fold forward. Your inhale lifts you up, flat back, strong core. Find the strength. Fold in. Inhale, rise up. And return. Let's do that 2 more times with your own breath. And a breath like the energy that moves us to walk a little bit more in our faith journey. With strength. One more time, rise up. Pause, breathe and feel. Make sure you're forward on your mat. We're just going to do a round or so of sun salutation variations. So start in your mountain. Very rooting, grounding, but sometimes awkward pose is chair pose. So let's come into chair pose, sit those hips back. You might like the feeling of just keeping your hands on your hips so you can see where your pelvis is. Keeping that belly strong. Or you might like taking your hands to your heart. Or reaching up over the head. Whatever serves you. Take a breath or two in chair. Even if it feels challenging, know that you are still rooted in strength. When you're ready, next exhale, fold forward. Take that halfway lift. Step back with your left leg. Drop the knee. And when you feel grounded, rise up. And you might choose to keep your hand on your thigh, tailbone down, belly strong, or lift up. Take a little twist here. We haven't done any twisting action, so left hand to the thigh, right hand reaching out and around. Again, your shape, lots of variations. You could take cactus arms, or if you want to go a little deeper, then slide that top hand down, come into your prayer hands. Prayerfully moving our bodies. Keep spiraling that heart open. When you're ready, come down to touch the earth, hands and knees. Let's, with strength, lower our bodies down, reach those toes back, lift our hearts up into cobra, your way. Let it go when you're ready. Press up. This time we'll just come to table and step our left leg forward, finding our lunge on this side. And remember to keep the integrity of the pose nice and strong, purposeful. Find the arm gesture that works for you. And breathe into the fullness of your body. When you're ready, take your twist, your variation, hand to thigh, left hand tracking back, cactus arm, or you can slide that arm down, finding your prayer twist here on this side. Still feeling the strength, the integrity as your core as you twist open. When you're ready, bring it down. Look forward. And looking forward on our faith journey. Come on the ball of the back foot and step your feet together. Maybe take that halfway lift. We're not in a rush. Release down and rise up. Back to the heart. And breathe. Feeling the stillness within you. All the space filled. So do one more round, one more time into your chair. Then take your hands to your hips. Sit back. Hands to the heart. Feel the strength of your thighs, your core, or maybe reach up. And remember, still lifting our hearts as we feel rooted and strong. Next, exhale, fold it forward. This time we'll step back into plank. And if plank feels like too much for you today, feel free to take hands and knees. If you're in plank, really firm up your core, press into your yoga mat, softly gaze forward. God gave us strong bodies, so we can have strong hearts, strong actions, built on His house. Whenever you're ready, drop to the knees, lower down. Again, rise up into your cobra. Lower the body down, press up. This time we come all the way back into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. And then gaze forward again. Remember where you're going. You might sweep that right leg up just for a minute if it feels good in your body. And then bring it between the hands as best you can. Root that back foot. Keep a little space between the feet as you slowly and mindfully stand up and find your way into warrior one. So in rooted feet, tailbone down, belly strong. Say that a lot to cue I need to help me find my integrity in my poses. Reach the hands up if that serves you, or you can try your warrior with hands at your heart. Remember your strength, your warriorness. Even when you don't feel it, remember God has your name written on His heart, and He knows who you are. He created you. Whenever you're ready, circle those arms around. Come back to your plank. Again, you can hang out here for a breath or two, or rest in child's pose. Come onto your hands and knees, cat and cow, whatever you need. You're feeling that vinyasa, lower down. Lift into your cobra your way. You might try a different way. Fingertips out or arms reaching back. What serves? Rooted with the lower body. Hands under shoulders, press up. One more time, back into your downward facing dog. Breathe. Feel the rootedness in your posture even when you're in an upside down pose. Even though you can't see the way forward, can you find faith? When you're ready, lift that left leg up, if that serves you. And then swing it in between the hands. Root that back foot, widen your stance a little bit to make you more grounded in your warrior. When you're ready, come on up. Get grounded in that lower body, your feet, your pelvis. Feeling a nice opening perhaps in that right hip. Hands to the heart. Or reach those arms up to the sky. And when you're ready, keep those hands down. Take that right foot in. And slowly come on up to your mountain pose. Just take a moment to observe. Relax your arms. And where we're working on getting grounded and rooted, thought it might be good to practice tree pose. So let's root with that left foot. Take the right to the ankle, open the knee. I think you guys know this one, I'm not going to overcue. Find your tree. You could stay right here with that foot on the ground. You could slide that foot up to wherever it feels guided. You could keep hands on hips, hands to heart. Or reach those arms up towards God. Remember to breathe. Here in Maine, I've seen all kinds of trees. Actually, lots of trees that are down. They kind of feed their brothers and sisters in a beautiful way to bring balance. Disorder in the order. And when you're ready, let it go. Give the body a little shake. And we'll take it to the other side, so root that right foot. Coming in again from the roots up. So stable base in your tree trunk. In the middle of your tree, in the pelvis, in the heart that reaches up for the light. Maybe in the fingertips that reach up for the light to feed the rest. And when you're ready, let it go. Give it a little shake. Take the legs a little wider and maybe come into another nice neutralizing twist. So just twisting from side to side. You might like the feeling of tapping into your low back. Nice and grounding. Tapping into your chest. Opening your heart. When that feels complete, slow it down. Maybe come back to mountain at the top of your mat. Take a moment to breathe and feel. Maybe say to yourself, I am strong. I am rooted in something greater than me. Maybe something I barely understand, but I feel. And I know in my heart. Whenever you're ready, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Come to your hands and your knees. Maybe just sway those hips from side to side. We'll prepare to close down the practice with a few closing poses. So let's just roll ourselves over onto our backs. Slowly roll it down, bringing in a little bit of strength. Pause and breathe. Really feeling the support of the earth below you. The support of a loving God. When you're ready, hug your right leg in. Maybe extend your left leg down. Really full breath. Feeling the weight of your bones release a little bit more with each exhalation. Maybe the weight of your heavy heart, relaxing the back of your heart here. Stretch your body long. Really feel the depth, the breadth, the expansiveness of God's love within you. And hug the other knee in. Relax your face, your heart, your body. Set the leg down, and we'll just walk our feet over a little bit closer to the right edge of our mat. Reach our left arm up. We might just stay here, or you could clasp that wrist with your right hand. Coming into a crescent moon, you might cross the left leg over the right here. Just a nice lateral side bend once again. Stay rooted in your pelvis, strong. Making more space. When you're ready, let it go. Take a full breath. And take those legs over to the left. Reach the right arm up. And then take it to where you would like. Maybe crossing the ankle, maybe clasping that right wrist. Full breath. Stretch your body long. Hug the right leg in again. This time we'll come into a twist. I really like lateral movements and twisting for just making more space within the body, within the spine. So if you're feeling up to a twist, you could shift your hips a little bit over towards the left. Take that right leg across the body, any amount. Try to relax your shoulders, relax your heart, and extend that right arm out to the side. And find your shape and breathe into the right side. Bring it back to center. We'll take it to the other side, so hug the left leg in. Maybe scoot your hips over just a little bit to the right as that left leg crosses the body. And wiggle in, find your way. Maybe stretch that left arm out to the side, keeping your heart open. So even in our twist, we're pretty rooted in the lower body. Keeping the heart open in love. When you're ready, come back to neutral. Bend both of your legs. And it might just feel good to hug the legs in. We cross the ankles, circle the knees around. Really relaxing the tailbone, the low back. Bringing in that quality of rootedness. Make sure you circle in both directions. From here you might add in any additional poses you feel you would like. Maybe just reaching the legs up to the sky in a gentle inversion. You could add in the arms. You could circle around. Or maybe you're in a completely different shape that your body has called you to. When that feels complete, settle for a short shavasana. Again, a shape that feels good to you. You might like keeping the legs bent. You might like stretching the legs out long or bring some support underneath the thighs. You might want a little bit more of an inversion, taking your legs up over the couch, or you might feel like coming into seated. So just find a resting pose that works for you. As you settle into your shape, just observe your body, any subtle changes in the body, in the breath, any sense of expansion, presence. And as you rest, I'd like to offer you the passage again, Ephesians 3. This time I'll start at 14. Bring in a sense of reverence, as yoga tends to do. For this reason, I bow my knees before the Father, from whom every family in heaven and earth is named, that according to the riches of his glory, he may grant you to be strengthened with power through his Spirit in your inner being. So that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may have strength to comprehend with all the saints what is the breadth, the length, and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled with all the fullness of God. So resting here, feeling yourself filled with the fullness of God, to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge. To know that he has granted you the strength and the power through his Spirit in your inner being. So that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may have strength to comprehend free to linger here in your resting pose as you continue to just contemplate and comprehend the love of God within you. If you feel ready to rise up, take your time. Moving with ease. Perhaps coming to your seated position, bringing your hands in prayer to your heart. And just recalling that this is always a practice. We forget, and then we come to our mat, we breathe deeply, and we remember who we are, whose we are, and how powerful He created us to have the knowledge to root ourselves in Him. Namaste.